All right, a very good morning to you guys out there, guys and girls, guys and girls, women like me, women want me. We'll get to that in a second. It's WJ Warrior Junior here for another episode of everything that I know that you don't. You know where I got that from actually, like I know you don't, or I am and you're not. Uh, Grandmaster GM Ben Feingold. Chess. He got his GM title when he was 40, and he goes like, "I'm a grandmaster and you're not." Like it's you know, there's like 2,000, a little bit more probably GMs in chess in the whole world, and he got the cover. They gave him the cover of Chess Life when he got his grandmaster title because it is at that age. Like it's kind of doesn't happen very often because generally you know kids play chess. They get really good young because they don't have responsibilities. Chai spice. But I think I mentioned this in my last episode. I hold the contention that because I used to play in these tournaments like American Open and stuff, and I see all these Asian kids there, parents bringing their Asian kids, to compete and it's real serious. These tournaments. And I'm like, well, you want a kid like this really strong chess player? It's like, well, why don't you teach him how to fucking count cards? I mean, like get really good at that, because that's a skill set. I mean, that there's money to make in that if you're really good. Chess, there's no money to make because it's and it's like, well, no, I know that they're not implying their kids should be professional chess players, but I told you like this Hans kid that I knew, like that's his whole life. He's like 19, he's like 20 now, and think about that. You put your whole energy into something where there's money, you could make something. You put it into chess. I mean, you're asking for an incredible struggle, like because there's great players all around the world. Magnus Carlsen, whatever. You're up against like it's like the Ronnie Coleman of chess players. I mean, you're not going to defeat him. Excuse me, you're not going to defeat him. One guy, Jay Cutler, finally, only reason Jay and they don't, they say, well, oh yeah, Jay Cutler defeated Ronnie Coleman. Look, you gotta understand something. Like what happened was that last Olympia, not last Olympia, but when Ronnie Coleman, he had something where he had to go to the hospital and stuff, and that was the whole thing, Jay versus Ronnie. Like, and if Ronnie Coleman, wasn't able to compete, it would have been a disaster. So like he got out of the hospital, and that's the reason Jay Cutler beat him. Like and plus, it's. I mean, I saw Jay Cutler, in 2009, I think it was at a Fit Expo. Yeah, no, that was ridiculous. I never seen anybody that pumped up ever. He's wearing this thin sweater. It was. I've seen huge people before, but that when I saw Jay Cutler, he's like my height. I was at 5'9" or something. Like he was 300 pounds solid. It was ridiculous. I mean, it was like. I mean, I seen John Cena's hands, but it was like nothing compared to Jay Cutler. It was a fucking unbelievable. Um, anyway, yeah. So the point that I was trying to make about developing a skill set, if you're going to put that much energy into a game, I don't give a fuck what it is. You might as well put it into a game where there's money to make. I mean, the chess thing is just a stupid thing. Bobby Fischer talked about this. Like when he got out of jail, he was on a private jet, and he goes, "What the pie is so small? Like these people fighting." And this is guy you're talking a world champion is fucking telling you this. Like, you're not going to listen to somebody that has been at the top of the mountain that knows exactly everything. It's just stupid. You would think like there would be, card counting blackjack schools, like everywhere because, or for this kind of, skill set. Poker, not as much, maybe. But the thing about poker is the variables. I know there's variance in blackjack too. But the game is not. You're like a machine, and how to count perfectly and how to basic strategy perfectly and betting perfectly. You will win in the long run. That's the whole idea. But in poker, the luck of the turn, the draw, the river, it's fucking. There's a lot of luck, elements of luck in there. It's. I mean, there is a skill set, definitely no limit. I'm not, I'm not arguing, saying there is. Excuse me. I think allergy season's starting in the spring. I get the allergies. But I just don't understand why. The I told you about this one guy that's a pro blackjack player. He blacklisted from every Vegas casino. His dad was a world champion backgammon player, and he knew his kid took an affinity to cards when he was young, and he knew there's money to make in that if you're fucking that good. And he followed basically that what I'm saying. I got this. I hold this logic from what I took about this guy that he made his money. He was blacklisted from every Vegas casino because he made so much fucking money. So he bought a cool motorhome and went on the road around the country, and he made another $500,000 for. He said it was really hard, playing a lot, but over doesn't matter. He still fucking won consistently, the ups and downs. But in the end, after felt like his tour was done, going everywhere, he wound up clearing over $500,000. It's not bad. What else do I want to say? Okay, so I want to talk about this woman thing that happened. I think I mentioned it briefly. I got it from some chick, and I told you like what I used to do is I would broadcast, going around trying to talk to a lot of women, giving them my card. Just trying to put myself out there, seeing which women might give me a chance, and I forget about so many of them, because I was trying. Now I just don't try really anymore. I'm not really getting any, but I'm just trying to imply the point of what I did. So I get some text on Friday night from some chick. Goes, is this WJ? And so I don't like to give. You understand? Me. That means you need something. See, I understand. The psychology of people. I've been around. A good amount of time here. So what I do is I don't like to give anybody what they want. I don't care if you're a solicitor, bill collector. If I do answer, I'm going to put it on you. My friend says answer a question with a question, and it's pretty good. So I said, well, it depends. Are you a bill collector, a solicitor? She goes, oh no. It told me her name, Elise or something, and she sends me a picture of her face, whatever. And I look at her and I said, immediately I know it's not my type of woman. Maybe I met her, whatever. Like I was broadcasting, trying to meet a lot of people. So she's like decent, but she's not what I like really. And then the pictures start getting more suggestive, and I said, well, did I pay you? Like I asked her that because I don't know, I don't remember, and I forget what it was. I kind of moved it very quickly. The story is here, and I go, look, no offense, but you're not really my type, and got like really offended. What do you think? I'm a fucking dumpster? That's what he said, and it's funny, like women, like again, she's like a floozy, like a whore, right? So, sexually said, no offense, you're not my type, and she just really blew up there, the fragile ego syndrome, as I call it, and she's not used to hearing that, probably used to getting her way. So before I blocked her, when she told me off, she was like, yeah, you fucking cunt called me that. That's funny to a man. That's really interesting. So I said, if you don't want to be treated like a dumpster, then don't act like one. And I blocked her at that point. I got the last word in. It's really funny. A woman calls up me basically trying to solicit herself, and that's what they do. You know, it's not a woman that that I met. Then I would remember somebody like that I met if I went out dancing, or I wasn't broadcasting kind of thing. You know, like I know the more wholesome women, like a nurse or a fucking woman that I met at the wrestling school, or somebody and bending over, you could see the condom next on it, and I said, no, that's skanky. So, but here's the thing, I do pay, as I mentioned. So the thing is, the women that I do donate to, I do treat them respectfully because they're in like my bullpen. You know, I know them for a while. I have my fun with them. But these whatever new, it's like you got to be careful. You don't know them. You don't know if they're bipolar. You know, that could be dangerous. You don't want to get into a shouting match, verbal or physical, God forbid physical, with any of these low lives. You know, like you have to be very careful. When I was, it's hit and miss. I had some tourists. Sometimes I remember they were staying not too far from me. I met them online. You know, like I saw that. I guess they were like massage girls or whatever, and I paid. I ran down there, and I had a pretty good time. You know, they took care of me, and they're like from Europe or something, so they pick up some easy traveling money that way. But it was all convenience to me. I didn't have to travel far and everything. And you know, look, I understand how this fucking thing works. Again, I have no problem donating if it's what I like, you know, at all. Um, I have my limits to what I think women are worth. You know, I've even drew the line. There's this one, and some of these women I've always wanted to meet, but they're just too expensive. Um, you know, even though I had the cash, but parting with that cash is a different story. I was at the Resorts World in Vegas maybe 6 months ago. I was walking around everywhere like this, seeing where it was during the week. I go, God, you know, where's there used to be like all these hot working girls all around, you know, and I couldn't find really anything. Where is everything? I just saw it was all ghetto trash walking around the strip. Now I understand by like the Orleans and stuff, maybe, you know, like I walked there too, you know, it's the little I saw, but I saw a lot of ghetto trash on the strip. I go, where the fuck is like the quality? Where's the good stuff? And I walked everywhere and I met this, I guess she was a massage girl. She was not bad. She was just a little too drunk at the Resorts World. Um, but that's not the girl I propositioned. There was a white chick that was walking around that was not bad. And she's funny. I go, well, you know, what do you need for your time? You know, I said like this, and she goes, 100. She goes, and funny, I had it like in a clip, you know, and I pulled it out. I showed her I had that kind of money. I go, look, I have that kind of money, see, but you know, I just can't give you that much. You know, like I'm around like the 500 level. And she goes, well, like those days are over. She goes, and she told me she came out to Vegas from Montana, is what she said. You know, and she's been there for like 3 weeks and stuff. And you know, it's that she goes, look at me. She goes, you know, it's kind of like not really cocky way, a little bit kind of arrogant, but the way like look at me, like this is what you're. She had a pretty good body. You know what she looked like? She looked like a decent shaped college girl. You know, that's what it was, just in a black dress. And it wasn't like, to me, that's nothing extraordinary. You know, that's not really. It's like, you know, it doesn't, you know, and I just could not part with that kind of money. You know, but I was just curious. You know, like what the. There's no harm in asking what the donation is. You know, so just do it tastefully, like I did it. You know, I'm just curious, what do you need for your time? You know, what's your donation rate? Like, be cool about shit, man. You know, like, and if you're a guy that likes to get in like I do, you know how to fucking do it. You know, like that. That's what it is. That's how fucking life works. Okay, life doesn't. My friend, I got a friend. He's from the '70s. Like he understands this too, but he's like, he likes for them to come to his room kind of thing. I don't like that. I don't like that. I like to see what I like before it shows up. I like to pick. I like to choose. I like to meet them in a public place, and that's how I like it. I like to think about, to fantasize for a minute what it would be like to get a woman like that, and then get it. That's what I like. I don't like you to go to the room and they send you somebody, and then if it's not what you like, it's the same thing in the massage parlors thing. I don't like that. I call it potluck, is what it is, and I just don't like the potluck kind of thing where what you take whatever you can send them away. Yeah, you know what though, but then I remember when I was really young, I called one of these services. They sent somebody in my old apartment, sent somebody over, and it wasn't what I liked. And then this guy banged on my door and said, "You got to give her something, man." Like it was her pimp, and he goes, "You don't give her something, I'm gonna knock on every door here, all your neighbors, that you're like a weirdo." So I gave her like $40 to get the fuck out. And it was a lesson. It's a lesson learned that you can't um, you kind of have to know what you're doing, kind of thing. I'll share a funny story with you. I was walking to my friend's place, and this guy had this nice Jaguar. He was turning the corner. He stops though, and this it was kind of like an older guy, like maybe in his late 50s or something, early 60s. And this black chick opens the door to get out, and she goes, "You gotta give me something, man. You gotta give me something." And the guy goes, "I'm not giving you nothing." And the woman went to grab his glasses off of his face. Like, I think she got him actually. She goes, "I'm not giving you your glasses back until you give me something." Like, see, these bad experiences in life, like it's, I remember that. I saw it. Like, I was right there. I happened to catch this. I stopped just to see this. And it was like, oh my God, that's the problem when you're dealing with street trash, and stuff, you could, you're putting yourself at risk. But again, young youth is usually, I'm sorry, implies inexperience. So I hate to like the say the live and learn kind of thing, but you kind of like want to get better at everything as you get older. You don't want to make as many mistakes. You don't want to be dealing with people that beneath you, that could have hurt you. I've seen these people, these cretins. Again, I've been around long enough to know what is out there. Like and how to try to avoid it all. That's why like women of higher status, they don't, they got a lot to lose. Even I'm trying to think. Yeah, yeah. Like so, I'm going to the boxing gym, and I haven't seen that chick I liked. The one that's like the co-owner, she keeps flirting with me, and luckily, see, my demeanor is kind of simmered down to where I'm not as combative. It wouldn't really help me anyway, because if I really was myself or what I used to be, she'd ban me. I mean, because women have fragile egos. I don't care what they say. I'm really good at pissing people off if I want to, but then again, it just burns bridges. It doesn't get you anything. So think about that. Think about when you vent and stuff like that. Think about when you're venting. It shows lack of control. Like this kid that I know that claims he's a really good nerd, but he got banned. He got thrown out of Yamaha, San Manuel. Control himself when somebody was needling him. I told you my story at the MGM tournament I played. These fucking people were needling me for fucking not knowing the rules in a mixed game. And one by one, I eliminated each one of them. Got eliminated by other players, and me and a couple other. I remember that I got eliminated by a fucking poker pro that's won over $7 million. Okay, so that's who beat me. You know, and that was at the final table, by the way. He took home the glass trophy for that one. I had a lot of years playing stud, man, a lot of fucking years. So that I believe all these things kind of help, but you gotta have, like your friends, you gotta have the cards. Like that's but it's combinations of lots of things, and I just don't like that life. I don't like sitting there. I don't like being uncomfortable. I don't like not the I just don't like the grind. I don't mind grinding if it's something that can really get you something, or it could really lead to some substantial money. But I don't like this kind of play to play. Like all these people, they're rec players. They're recreational players. They act like they think they're pros, but they're not. They're fucking not. They're out of their fucking minds. In a fucking tournament ever, so they don't know nothing. Okay, we're going to talk a minute about taking chances, because though I mentioned the women thing, I don't want to harp on that too much. Relative, when we talk about this relates to gambling. They're taking chances, sticking your neck out there. How are you going to make money, substantial money, if you're just doing this mediocre, minuscule pittance endeavors? Like, I hate to put my friend on the spot here, but I have a friend I grew up with, and this guy, like, penny deals. Like, he goes all the way to Torrance to sell like $40 of books to get store credit, whatever, if he gets that, all the way to Valley, and all this fucking running around for like nickels and dimes. And what he's thinking, if he sees this, he goes, "What am I supposed to do?" They get very combative and immediate answer. That's not what I'm offering. What I'm trying to explain is that this running around for pennies kind of thing, it leads absolutely nowhere. Now, there's got to be something that you could hit to take you some real fucking money. And I don't. Okay, I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag a little bit, but I'm not gonna tell you what the bet is. But I'm gonna. It doesn't matter. Why would I give you a free pick for free? That's not the way it works. But it's here it is. All right, so the NFL playoffs are going to be starting a week from today. Today's week 18. And I am not a fan of football. I don't care. It doesn't do anything for me. But I follow, when I see opportunities, when they really light up. So I'm not one of these guys that starts betting and I have to bet every game. Bet this, now I got to bet that, and I got to bet the over. No. I'm extremely selective. And extremely selective only if there's something that I think can pay a substantial amount of money, and it's very doable. It's got to be both. And generally, those don't align. I'm not going to tell you what teams, because then I would give it away. But anyway, they have a thing called a two-leg parlay, is what it's called. And see, I was having a very difficult time trying to figure this thing out. Not the two-leg parlay. I know what that is, but basically, I have my two picks for the AFC and NFC championship winners. And basically, it's like, well, you have the Super Bowl odds. So I'm being careful because I don't want to tell you my picks. And I say, well, I can get, decent odds if I just pick the Super Bowl winner, but then what about this other one? So I said to myself, well, if I bet, the division series, and then I take all that money and then snowball it into the championship games, you're making basically, let's say you put whatever, let's say $10. So 10 goes to 20, 20 goes to 40. So you can use whatever math you want. You know, it's double, right? And I said, well, I found out they have a 2-leg parlay where instead, right now, I can just pick who the teams that I have in mind to win the AFC and the NFC, and it comes out to again, be careful. You know, let's just say around 6.5 to 1. And you know, I said to myself, okay, that's really good because it's not like, you know, I pick 2 teams to win the Super Bowl and I bet, you know, a big bet on both. It's an automatic loss. You know, if I do that, I don't want that. Basically, I have my picks, my Super Bowl 2 teams that are going to be in it. So I found this thing. I was like, wow, okay, this is really good. Now here's the thing. I went online and I saw all these sites like FanDuel, both they'll give even more. They offer like betting a substantial amount of money. That is a lot. That's a big difference. But here's the fucking problem. Well, FanDuel, forget it's out because I'm in California, so that's done. But like Bovada, for example, they're offering like I think it's like 750 or 725, 300. I'm skeptical about online offshore casinos. You know, it's like, well, they sell your information when they get it. Okay, whatever. But here's the thing: what if you don't get your money? What if you send it in? I'm sure they take it. What if they don't pay you out? What if somebody hacks into the account after they pay out? It could be a million fucking things. You're a million fucking things I've seen happen. Well, they've been around for a long time. You know what? I'm sure they have. But you're better off taking a little less odds and going to a place that's secure. And that's what I'm going to do. If I decide if I'm going to make this bet, I'd rather just go to Vegas and place it there. That way, and if you hit, you will get paid. You put it into one of these fucking Bovada or whatever like that, these fucking places. I'm telling you, you know, you just a nightmare could happen. I'm telling you, they might not pay out this much, or that could happen, or this could happen. You're gambling on top of gambling. Believe me, if you hit something really substantial, you'd be surprised what problems happen. It looks so easy, like when you on the betting slip, you know, like when it says, oh, you know, the payout. Yeah, like of course they want to show you that to get you to fucking sign up to a welcome bonus. You know that they. So I just don't like it. Like I'm concerned because you know this could be a substantial amount of money for me. Um, so I just hold the contention that take the little fucking less odds. It's good enough if you hit it. Believe me. Don't be fucking greedy. Don't be fucking greedy, man. It's hard enough, you know, to get ahead in life. I watch this guy on YouTube. He puts like, you know, they never show his face. He's got like his gloves, hands are covered in gloves, whatever. He's got like this money all wrapped up, and he has a money counter, and he counts out like 100,000, 180,000, whatever. Like through a machine, he shows it close, like it's real, and it's just like, wow, you know, like you see all this kind of cash, and it's like I see it, I go, I wish I want to have that. And this is the fucking problem. How are you going to get that fucking kind of money? You get that money if you don't take a chance in life. How are you going to fucking get that money? Now, I have a friend, you know, he had a condo, whatever like that over, but you're talking a lifetime. You're talking an entire fucking lifetime, you know, to try to amass something. Like, you heard about these guys who made their money in crypto or made their money that good for them. You know, they hit. But they're not helping me. You know, they're not anything they started or anything. I hold the contention that you got to take these risks. And you know, well, how do I get the money to take the risks? Okay, well here's the fucking problem. You got to leverage. You got to leverage something. And you know, in my case, it's like credit cards. You know, you build up a substantial line.
You can buy a tangible asset with it. I'm not gonna fucking tell you because it's like, figure it out on your own. Why should I give you free information? But um, you liquidate it, you get the cash, and you got the cash to fucking work with, and you put it up. If you're that confident, in the bet, and I am. So, I'm not gonna tell you, much more than that, but I can do this with like about 10, and it's like it's a chance. You know what I mean? It's a fucking chance. Take a chance in life. You'll never get ahead. You just won't. For the most part. I've tried so many things to move ahead in life, and you know, opportunities are sparse. They're far and few between. I hate sounding like so defeatist and stuff, but you got to figure it out on your own. You got to try to say, okay, fine, all right, well, I can get 5,000, and now I'm not saying just take this willy nilly, like no, it has to be something. When you take that chance, like you really have to believe that that's gonna happen. Like now, if it doesn't, okay. Listen, man, I've shared stories, my life stories, where I spent like close to 10,000 on these stamps that thinking I was gonna get, and then I thought, well, it's still stamps, it's still money, it's still value, it's true, but one of my shipments got lost after I sent it out, which was stupid on my part. Um, I lost like thousands on that, but it's lessons, man. It's lessons. And I didn't find I didn't get one of the rare ones. Um, and I just feel like this one guy at the gym told me once, you gotta be just gotta be right once. You gotta be right once. Now, remember, if I want to leave you with this, like hypothetically, if I bet 10,000, right, on this two-leg parlay, get back 72,500. Okay, that's going for it. You know, ideally you want to bet like 13,000 to win 100 grand. That's the real thing. But you know what? Remember what I said about being greedy and saying, all right, like that's all I can come up with, and it's good enough if you hit. So well, if you would have bet, on a line thing through them, then you would have got, instead of 650, you would have got 725. You know what? That's great and everything, but again, I'm just too skeptical about them paying out if you hit, and then somebody hacking in and taking your money from you, and then they go, we don't know what happened. Then you've got a nightmare there. Why fucking risk that? If you get lucky, isn't that a substantial return? 650 is enough. I mean, I look at it like that. So more than likely, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Vegas and place that bet. I got to have that in before the wild card weekend starts, which would be a week from today. So that's it's a good it's a serious shot. But you know what? You don't take any chance. You don't go for it in life. You don't do. Then what do you got? What do you got? Playing for one of these people that grind it out for a long time. They got families or whatever. I get that. I don't. I don't got nothing. I got this, and that's nothing. If you don't own anything, then you never will have. It takes something really over the top. Would it be if I sold my script, if I was a star in a movie, something for you to, you need to take it over the top with something. And I just feel like most people they wouldn't take that chance. It's like, well, you ruin your credit if you do that. You know what? My credit's been ruined before. It took years, yeah, but you gotta find some way to get ahead or get what you want out of this life. Why be here? Why? Why? You're gonna get old, and you know, uh, you're whatever, and those opportunities will have passed you by, and then you never did it, and you
the ghost of everything. You have to live with yourself. Think about that. What if I'm right? What if I'm fucking right? I think about it to myself, I don't take this chance. And if I'm right on this one, and I would have made enough money to buy my condo in Vegas, you're damn near fucking close. I have to live with myself the rest of my life going, I could have had in a couple of weeks, I could have been in a position to have one of my biggest dreams come true. And I didn't take the chance. The Rock said something really interesting once. He goes, when he got sent home from the CFL with $7 in his pocket, he didn't know what to do with his life and everything. His dad was kind of struggling in the WWF, because back then, the black wrestlers were not accepted. They didn't like him. They weren't. They were like jobbers. They didn't. Even his dad told him, "Don't get into this." But what his dad didn't realize, The Rock had a little more charisma than his dad did as a performer, amongst other things. There's a different look too, which is very, very important. But The Rock said that his dream was to be in the NFL. And he said that was the best thing that never happened, because else he wouldn't be where he is today. So think about that. Even though your biggest dream is to be this and that, and it doesn't work out, it doesn't mean you can't get somewhere else. Now, I'm not saying that this gamble, this bet is the end all be all like it would, but I don't see any other, I cannot tell you other things, how long I tried this and that and this and that. Every fucking thing that I've tried, and there's nothing that's working. So I'm sitting there going, I'm saying to myself, like, this is a shot. And, I feel like maybe just fucking once. And if I'm right once, then I'm in a position to buy that condo. Like it's one fucking thing. It's not an immense million to one. Picking the two teams, in the playoffs that are going to be in the Super Bowl, that's not very difficult. Especially if they're pretty favored. So that's my tip. I never told you the names of what I picked. Figure it out yourself. I mean, just go through the list of the top 5-6 teams. There's Buffalo, there's KC, there's San Francisco, there's Cincinnati, there's Philly, there's who else is good in their division? Names drawing blank, but again, I just spit out 4 or 5 teams right there. So I'm out of the ones I mentioned, 2 of them are gonna, that I'm picking to be in there. It's a pretty good chances that, that's going to be the matchup. So I think that's a very good return for the chance. And, if I don't take a chance and I don't, then you get nothing. Then you just sit around and, hoping, scrounging, to make this and that. There's no, and I don't like that. Like, I like to fucking try shit like crypto. I like to hit something. If I was hoping Shibarium, when that launches, she was fucking hasn't really moved nothing, and it's pissing me off that I'm tying up thousands of dollars into crypto, into fucking into stuff that doesn't lead anywhere. It's like you got to be patient. You got to be patient with things. I'm well aware, but what I said about having balls. You know, there's a time when it's time for you. All right, you know what? This is the hand. The fucking time to do it. You know, listen, man. I've taken hellacious losses in my life. Very long bus ride home from the casino. Um, and I'm not saying the casino's the answer, but the thing is, and one thing you know about poker too, you can only win what other people have on the table there. You know, I think it takes way more balls to sit down and play, it's like 20-40 limit with $200 and try to hit, you know, with that one hand that you're going to play because you only got 10 times the minimum bet. So you're going to be around to get that, not to plan, but to wait for that one hand possibly. And I've done that. I've won $1,000, you know, in the span of two hands. Um, my friend saw me because I would have played it like that. You know what? You wouldn't play it like that because you don't have a false sit down there with all money that you want $200 to to go for it. You know, these people, it's so easy to watch. They he doesn't understand, you know, the deep work that's involved with if you want to play blackjack. I watch these people at Boulder Station. I watch it on YouTube, and they're sitting there like chatting away with the dealer, and then on feelings still, like looking at, oh, I got 16. They're morons. These people, they're playing to play. They don't understand what their focus should be on not talking to anything and counting like a machine. Like you should know it in your mind that count. You should know exactly when's in your favor, when to try to nail him. And it's like I watch this. It's amateur play. It's real weak amateur play, and the casinos will destroy you. Even if you get lucky, they will. That game is designed for you to lose unless you are a very strong counter with perfect strategy, basic strategy, and perfect betting. You don't do that, you have absolutely no chance. They're going to grind it out of you. They're going to take it out of you, and just the game is too hard. It's too fast. So, which I'm not, and we're trying to become, counting and stuff, but it's a very it's a skill set. You have to build it. It's not easy. You think you're going to take money from them, and then they could ban you anytime. The casinos. All right. Anyway, with that being said, you know, the collectible business, on eBay. I'll tell you, it is not what it used to be. It's eBay's greed. It used to be 6% when you sold something. Now it's 10%. Now actually, I'm sorry, it's 12.5 now. Start out at 6. At 10, it's 12.5. And there used to be like deals there. What I'd buy like gold or whatever, and I'd be able to sell it and pocket eBay bucks and everything. I cannot find any fucking deals. Like it's unbelievably difficult to find anything. I don't know what's going on in this world where it's like they're printing money like it's going out of style. To be able to turn a buck, I list some stuff and they just don't. Nobody looks. Nobody offers. This. I mean, they show you these card shows, like the basketball cards and super expensive stuff. All these got people there have their briefcases with all these expensive cards, but you don't see a lot of money changing hands. And when the money changes hands, it's very like rare. Oh, look at all that money changing for this card. Oh, those cards worth this much. Yeah, well, it's only worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. And you could say it's worth, could try to sell it for whatever on eBay, try to get, crazy money. But unless somebody pays for it, then it's a delusional fantasy that you think you've got something that's so rare and so expensive. It's only rare to buy, the cards that go for money. It's the cards that generally everybody collects the same thing. Generally, in baseball, it's Mantle, and you had, I don't know, basketball, Giannis Antetokounmpo, LeBron, you know, whatever, it's the Kobe, the Jordan. It's the same fucking thing, most people, they want the stars in baseball. It's Otani, like whatever, the vintage. It's like Nolan Ryan, there's cards that are worth money. People collect the same shit, they buying it because most people are fans of the same player, and then the cards are really in demand and they go for a lot of money. I mean, it's just, that's the way it works, even though like I like Star Wars, but I like kind of like, the odds and ends, but I think I showed some of my cards that I had and the stuff I'm looking. Excuse me. Of one of one, it's only one, so even though now there's more one of ones than ever, but some of the cards that I have, they're quite rare, as far, in my opinion. And the people won't pay like what I think it's worth, so fuck them. I'd rather keep it. I don't give a shit. This woman that's like co-owner of the boxing gym I go to. Every these people coming in there all the time, whatever, is showing us pictures. Oh, she fought Kim Kardashian, whatever, celebrity boxing, whatever. Who fucking cares? Who the fuck cares, really? Like, I don't want to say this to her or anybody else, but it's not like she fought like a real. Kim Kardashian is just like, good looking woman because her dad represented OJ. That's the only fucking reason. It's not like she's not a fighter. Like, it's like, so it's nothing. Like stupid. When you think about it, famous for the wrong reason. Dumb fucking thing. Like, I don't care. Like, it doesn't do anything for me. Like, she's nothing. Like, it's like J Lo. Like, J Lo's only somebody because she basically just uh, uh, pretended, like, did the Selena, the biop movie, a tribute to when she died. JLo would have never been. She never would have been nothing. She did prepare herself, acting school. She put herself on the map to be able to, on the field for that opportunity. But you know, I just don't understand how these people are given so much. They shouldn't be given so much. Our society gives all these people everything, and that's just nonsense. It's bullshit, and I don't care about them. They're not going to do anything for me, and I don't care about them at all. I really don't. Um, Probably a real cunt anyway. She never took my dance movie script into consideration, so she can go to fucking hell. I mean, it's ridiculous. They act like they're so passionate about dancers, considerate and they care, but they don't. They don't fucking care. You give the Les Twins $1 million, they're already successful. They're already put them on TV. They're already known. I already knew about those guys for years. I knew about those fuckers for years, and I wrote them into my movie. They're an integral part of the ending, everything. Okay, they'll fuck them. Fuck the idea. Like, my script is copywritten, it's protected. I don't give a shit. It's registered. If nobody wants to fucking make it, fuck them.
you know. So another episode. I hope that you enjoyed the way I think, about taking chances and stuff. Hopefully, you can figure out in your own life, you can find a way to do something that, if you're not getting to where you need to go, or you don't have, like, I hope so. Whatever it is, whatever it is, in there and just try to make something happen, man. You don't want to be one of these schlubs going nowhere. I see them all the time when I'm going to the boxing gym. These guys sweeping up, the alleys for no reason. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. And I don't care either. Funny, I always see these people sleeping outside in tents, and it's fucking believable. I don't know. Don't know, and nor do I care. I got to take care of myself.